Within stage precision, if you already have a lens profile that you have created already with the different distortion values, nodal offsets, and center shifts, and even with the focus distance already encapsulated within the lens profile, you can right-click on the lens profile, and there is the option to export this as a file. By clicking on here, you get to choose onto your desktop or wherever you would like to store this information and give this a name. So maybe call it lens profile export and save that, and that will have generated a actual file that you can then import to elsewhere. Within PIXERA, under the studio camera object, it is possible now to import the XP lens profile that you have exported previously. You would go in and select the studio camera objects, scroll all the way down to the very bottom under the calibration section, and you would choose the SP lens mode, and you would then be able to click here and choose the lens profile that was previously exported from stage precision. And now you would have imported this lens profile and associated with this studio camera. Within PIXERA, you can receive some tracking information from external sources. For example, you could come into under the control section, search for example 3D, select and drag that out. And now, of course, you would want to define the IP address that you're receiving the tracking information from. For example, on my situation, I'm receiving on this IP address, and the port number, please double check on the sender unit which port number is being sent on. And under here, you would want to enter in the expected frequency that you're receiving. If both systems are gen-locked together, then there is no need for any damping. If this is going to be associated with the SP lens profile that you have previously imported, you would want to make sure that this normalized focus and zoom is enabled as well. And once that is all configured nicely, and all of the information is entered appropriately, you would then go under the UI section and you would click on Start Learning. And as soon as the information is being received, you would now see that all of this information is coming in here. In this situation, you would also want to go from the sender device and just make sure that the zoom and focus is actually going and sort of ranging your zoom and focus values, just so that from the PIXERA side, you have learned the full range of the zoom and focus. And now once those are done, you would want to go under here, under update the configuration from learn data and update the actions as well. And once that is done, we can come under here and you would see that the camera object has been detected already. That is the one that is being received. And you would want to then actually link it with with an actual studio camera. And what you will want to use is the transformation and lens props extension, extended option, and link that with the studio camera as well. As soon as the data has been linked and the data that is coming in is now driving the studio camera, we can switch over and take a look at the camera object. And we can actually now go in and take a look at, as the encoders are now changing values, we can now see that the lens is also zooming in and out in PIXERA side as well. And just to prove that the entire lens profile is actually being loaded to the studio camera and all of that distortion is actually being used, we have a generic S pattern being loaded onto a screen, and we have the camera coming in and looking at that screen, and we can zoom in and out, as you can see, looking at that test pattern. And then we just quickly switch over to display what the actual output of that camera looks like. And here we are, and you can see some of that distortion from that lens, some of the distortions around the edges. And as we're also changing the zoom value, and see how that actually zooms in and actually crops and look at the screen slightly differently and loading the distortions from a different zoom point.